Safe driving saves lives. Stop accidents before they stop you. Be alert as accidents may hurt you. You may be hear these slogans on road safety. Even though we are very careful in driving, sometimes we may meet with accidents. On that unexpected events, to cover the financial losses, we need a protection package which is called as the motor insurance. In this session, we are going to see the motor insurance elaborately. In the olden days, many of the pedestrians who were knocked down by motor vehicles and who were killed or injured did not get any compensation because the motorists did not have the resources to pay the compensation and were also not insured. So, in order to safeguard the interest of pedestrians, the Motor Vehicles Act 1939 introduced compulsory insurance. This is the class of insurance through which a majority of the people recognize general insurance, and that too because it is compulsory for all motorized vehicles to have an insurance policy against the third party liability before they come to road. Though this class of insurance is the major source of premium earnings for the insurance companies, it is also the class which is showing the biggest losses. What motor insurance is? Motor insurance gives protection to the vehicle owner against, first point, damages to his or her vehicle, and second one, pays for any third party liability determined as per law against the owner of the vehicle. Third party insurance is a statutory requirement. The owner of the vehicle is legally liable for any injury or damage to third party life or property caused by arising out of the use of the vehicle in a public place. Driving a motor vehicle without insurance in a public place is a punishable offence in terms of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. The insurance of motor vehicles against damage is not made compulsory, but the insurance of third party liability arising out of the use of motor vehicles in public places is made compulsory. No motor vehicle can ply in a public place without such motor insurance. For the purpose of insurance, motor vehicles are classified into three broad categories. First one is private cars, second motorcycles and motor scooters, third commercial vehicles, which is further classified into goods carrying vehicles, passenger carrying vehicles, for example motorized rickshaws, taxis and buses. Then miscellaneous vehicles, for example hearses means funeral van, then ambulances, cinema film recording and publicity vans, mobile dispensaries, etc. The types of motor insurance cover. Broadly, there are two types of motor insurance policies that offer motor insurance cover. First one is liability only policy, it is the statutory requirement. Second one is the package policy, liability only policy plus damage to owner's vehicle, usually called OD cover. Remember that if you take only a liability only policy, damage to your vehicle will not be covered. Hence, it would be prudent to take a package policy which would give a wider cover, including the cover of your vehicle. What a motor insurance covers? The damage to the vehicle due to the perils are usually covered under the motor insurance policy. The perils are A. Fire, explosion, self-ignition and lightning. B. Burglary or housebreaking or theft. C. Riot and strike. D. Earthquake. E. Flood, storm, cyclone, hurricane, tempest, inundation, hailstorm and frost. Accidental external means malicious act, terrorism act, while in transit by rail, road, inland waterways, lift, elevator or air. Landslide, rock slides. Then what all motor insurance excludes? Some contingencies are usually excluded under the motor insurance policy. First one is one who not having a valid driving license. Second, under influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs. Accidents taking place beyond the geographical limits. While vehicle is used for unlawful purposes. Electrical or mechanical breakdowns. Students, do you know what is the basis of sum insured? For own damage, the sum insured under a motor insurance policy reflects the value of the motor vehicle determined based on the concept known as insured's declared value. Insured's declared value is the value arrived at based on the manufacturer's present value and depreciation based on the age of the vehicle. For third party, coverage is as per requirements of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. Compulsory personal accident cover for owner driver is also included in this. Policy can also be extended to cover various other risks like personal accident, to occupants of the vehicle, workman's compensation to driver, etc., over and above the cover available to him under statute. Conditions. Apart from the usual conditions such as the notice of loss, cancellation of policy, arbitration, etc., there are other two conditions which are specific to motor policies. The insured is required to safeguard the vehicle from loss or damage and maintain it in efficient condition. In the event of an accident, the insured shall take precautions to prevent further damage. If the vehicle is driven before repairs, any further damage is at insured's risk. The insurer has the option to repair or replace the vehicle or parts or pay in cash the amount of damage or loss. The insurer's liability cannot exceed the insurer's estimated value of the vehicle or the value of the vehicle at the time of loss, whichever is less. Shall we look into own damage claim procedure? The procedure is generally followed in case of own damage claims. A notice of loss is to be given by the insured in case of accident to the insurer. B. The insurer would first check whether the insurance policy was valid at the time of accident and also the vehicle in question is in fact covered by the policy. The loss is entered in the claims register and a claim form is issued to the insured for completion and return. The insured is required to get an estimate of repairs from a repairer. In case such estimate is not acceptable to the insurer, it would ask the insured to get estimate from another insurer. Assessment. After receipt of repair estimate, the matter is referred to an independent surveyor. These surveyors are individuals with engineering background. Their job is inspecting the damaged vehicle and after discussion with the repairer and determine the cost of repair or replacement. The surveyor will accordingly submit his report on the damage and the cost of repairs or replacement. However, in respect of minor damage claims, independent surveyors are not always appointed. The insurer's own officials or their own automobile engineers inspect the vehicle and submit a report. Settlement. The survey report is examined and the settlement is effected in accordance with the recommendations contained therein. The usual practice is to authorize the repairs directly with the repairer to whom a letter is issued to that effect. In this letter, the repairers are also instructed to collect directly from the insured any amount that becomes due over and above the insurance claim that is determined by the insured. Such amount could be on account of the excess depreciation, salvage, etc. If applicable to the claim, the repairer or insured is instructed to keep aside the salvage of damaged parts if there are any. These may be collected by the salvage buyer nominated by the insurer, or else If the repairers are willing to retain the salvage, its value as indicated by the surveyor is deducted from the claim bill. On receipt of their final bill of repairs, after completion of repairs and a satisfaction note or voucher from the insured that the vehicle has been repaired to his satisfaction, the payment to the repairer is affected. Claim documents for own claims. Apart from claim form and survey report, the other documents required for processing the claim are as follows. The first one is driving license, registration certificate book, fitness certificate if it is for commercial vehicles, permit for commercial vehicles, police report for taxis, commercial vehicles need FIR, spot survey if the loss is heavy or TP loss occurs. Final bill from repairers, satisfaction note from the insured, receipted bill from the repairer if paid by insured, discharge voucher, full and final payment. Third party claim procedure. The third party claim section 165 of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 empowers the state government to set up Motor Accident Claim Tribunal, which is called as MACT, for adjudicating upon the third party claims. In case a tribunal has been set up for a particular area and then no civil court has any jurisdiction to entertain any claim falling under the tribunal's jurisdiction. Thus, in such cases, the claims of insurance will only be entertained by MACT. The procedure to be followed for third party claims are: first, the aggrieved party has to move the tribunal within a period of 6 months from the date of accident for filling the claim. Second, on receipt of notice of claim from the insured or the third party or from the MACT, the matter is entrusted to an advocate. Full information relating to the accident is obtained from the insured. The various documents are collected and these include: the first one is driving license, police report, details of driver's prosecution if any, death certificate, coroner's report if any fatal claims are there, medical certificate for bodily injury claims, details of age, income and number of dependents, etc. A written statement is then filed on the facts of the case with the MACT by the advocate. Eventually, if the award is made by the MACT, the amount is paid to the third party against proper receipt. These are all about motor insurance. Next, we are going to discuss on other miscellaneous insurance available. Various risk covering insurance are clubbed under the title called as miscellaneous insurance. Let us see one by one. Legal liability insurance. The first one is public liability insurance. Under Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, all companies or individual or persons owning, dealing hazardous goods are required to take insurance policy satisfying the limits specified in the Act. Public liability under PL1 Act is different from other legal liability in respect of negligence or wrongdoing on the part of the owner's fault, or negligence causing the accident is not required to be proved in case of PIA Act, whereas in all other cases it is compulsory. Product liability insurance. This policy is intended to provide an indemnity to the insured up to the limit of the liability in the event of a claim being brought against him. This may be caused by anything harmful or defective in the products sold or supplied by the insured in connection with the business specified. The company in addition will reimburse all the costs and expenses incurred with its written consent defending such a claim for compensation. The policy will, however, not cover the cost of removing, replacing or repairing defective products or loss of use thereof. Liability covered. This policy seeks to indemnify the insured against his legal liability to pay compensation, which includes claimant cost, fees and expenses in respect of injury, damage or pollution for third parties, for claims arising out of accidents due to any defects in the products specified in the policy during the period of the insurance and first made against the insured during the policy period. Professional indemnity experience. What is this? This type of policies are granted to medical practitioners like doctors, medical establishment like hospitals, engineers, architects and interior decorators, chartered accountants, financial consultants and management consultants, advocates and other solicitors. These policies provide indemnity for legal liability to pay damage arising out of negligence in the performance of professional duties. For example, a professional negligence of a doctor. Example, wrong diagnosis, wrong treatments, etc. may result in claims for death or injury. Professional negligence by a chartered accountant or solicitor, like giving a wrong advice, may result in claims for financial losses. So, these policies are generally issued for a period of 12 months. Workman compensation insurance. So, this policy provides indemnity to all the insured in respect of his legal liability to pay compensation to his employees who sustained person by accident or disease arising out amid in the course of his employment. What is the schedule of compensation? Subject to the provisions of Workman Compensation Act, the amount of compensation would be where employment injury results in death, 40% of the monthly wages of the deceased multiplied by the relevant factor or rupees 20,000 wherever is more. Permanent total disablement, 50% of the monthly wages of the injured disabled workman multiplied by relevant factor or rupees 24,000 whichever is more. Permanent or partial disablement, for an injury specified in part U of the disablement schedule. The percentage of loss of earning capacity cost applied to the compensation payable for permanent total disablement. Permanent partial disablement, for an injury specified in part 2 of disablement schedule. The percentage of loss of earning capacity cost applied to the compensation payable for permanent total disablement. For an injury not specified in schedule, the percentage of permanent loss of earning capacity as assessed by qualified medical practitioners applied to the compensation payable for permanent total disablement. Temporary disablement, a half monthly payment equivalent to 25% either total or partial of monthly wages of the workman to be paid in accordance with the provision of subsection 2 of the WC Act. Actual medical expenses incurred in connection with on duty accident ranging from rupees 80 to rupees 2400 per case as per the given option at the inception of the policy by the insured and extra premium paid. Hope you all in this session have understood the various types of motor insurance, the claim procedures available and the documents that are essential for claiming motor insurance. And also we have learnt about few miscellaneous insurances. We will see the rest of the miscellaneous insurance in the next session. Take care.